Hello, everybody. Good morning and welcome to Relax and Paint. And so I want you to think about today, relaxing, enjoying something that fills your spirit and makes you feel good. We've been studying a lot of scriptures lately, and the thing that's most important when we're praying for the day or planning for the day, that we remember to be still, be quiet, and listen. And so I think when we're engrossed in painting, we can have peace. And that's been a real fun experience for me this week, because we went to a park in the woods of Florida where it was just a peaceful drive and you could hear the birds. Take a deep breath. In Florida, it was like 70, which is really nice. And so I want you to think about that today. And I'm going to paint sunflowers with you today. I think it's a good season. No matter when you watch this, people love sunflowers. So I'm going to be on a piece of art paper again, and we're going to start drawing and getting it together for you. Be sure to please share your paintings on my Facebook group. It's the Donna Dewberry's official one-stroke group. And it's a group for one-stroke painters only, people that paint one stroke and not other paintings. And we share it with each other. And you grow by it, and lots of wonderful people to say, give you some critiquing if you want it on your painting. Right. And I'm on there all the time. Okay. So let's get started. I'm going to be on art paper, and I'm going to move my camera around so that we're ready to go. And we are using some multi-surface paint. And my camera has been having a fun time focusing because of the white is hard for it to focus. But this is multi-surface paint, and they have all kinds of labels. So you might have that label, this label, and we're going to have a new label soon. But I pulled out the colors first for the base that we're going to do. And so what I want to do first is draw the container. All right. So when I put my hands in here, it usually focuses. Sorry. So we're going to have a little container. All right. And it's kind of rounded. So look, I'm going to take and just kind of sketch lightly the shape. And then we're going to pick up some of these colors here. And I have had a dampened brush, and then I go into some floating medium. I want it to have some little bit of white and aqua with some steel gray. All right. Just some light colors here. So we're going to come down and come down. Now we're on a light gray. So we will use some medium gray to shade this a little bit. Come a little bit more here. All right. Now what's going to happen? This is aqua. I'm using my 16 flat. I need to have a new set of brushes. I have these same brushes I use here forever. And I'm sometimes not good on my brushes because I get through filming and I go do an errand or answer a phone call. And before I've known it, I've left my handles and my brushes in the water all day. So I'm abusive. So I know y'all don't want to do that. You want to take care of your brushes. So don't go by my example. All right. So I can put a teeny bit of white in here to give it a highlight. You seeing that? It's just a rustic container. A little bit of highlight. Okay. All right. Now I can take a little bit later and come float some Well, let's try it now. So I've got floating medium and medium gray. And I'm going to come across here and make a ridge. You see that ridge? Let's make it a little bit darker. And all the way to there. And then I can do another ridge here. And you notice I'm doing this curve here at the bottom, which makes it look round. Okay. So I don't worry about it being absolutely perfect. I just want you to see that we are going to just get some shading that gives you this round effect. So I had to grab some floating medium. All right. Okay. Now I did mess this up a little bit, so I'll come back over this. Oop, wrong color. If you don't like something you do, pick up fresh paint and restroke it. All right. There we go. All right, now what I will do, and I might go ahead and do it right now since all the colors are right here. I will come here on the bottom, right around here. And make some shading. So I would come under here.
From Dewberry, Donna.
Sorry, Michelle. Hope you get this. Okay, so we've got our container, and I can shade over the whole thing later, but I'm going to leave that for now. Depends on if I have time or not. Okay, so then what's going to happen is I'm going to go to my other plate. And so on here, I have the leaf colors. I have citrus green and thicket. And then for the center of the sunflower, I'm using burnt umber and Juneberry, a little bit different. Then I have yellow ochre and daffodil yellow and wicker white. And so we're going to get started. I got a couple drops here, but I am going to use my 3/4 inch, dampen it. That's my 3/4 inch flat. I'm going to come in here and pick up both colors and then work them in. Now, one thing that's kind of fun is every once in a while you can do a couple different things. You can pick up some white on the citrus side, or you can put some burnt umber on the thicket side. And you can also, let's get back, we got medium in this other plate. I'm going to dip a little bit of medium and then work it in. Okay. So first thing I want to do is let's put a couple of leaves out here. All right. So I'm going to come right in here. The sunflowers are going to be on top of this. And we're going to pull a stem there. All right. There's one out here. And so sometimes they're kind of thin because they're folded over a little bit. I know we got a lot of glare on that. A little bit more of the brown. Okay. All right, like I like to turn mine around and not worry about it being exactly perfect there. And then you pull a stem with the chisel or the brush, okay? So then we're going to come right in here Let's get a little bit more white and work that in. Sometimes you can put yellow too. All right. Now, one thing that helps you kind of see this dry paper, I need to put medium just on that corner. And then you pull the stem. So what helps you is to see a triangle. See, you got the triangle of leaves there, and then you can add to it. All right, so over here we have one that's gonna hang out. I'm gonna go into medium and work that in. All right. Using the double loader really helps you with keeping these colors separate, which I use on my practice strokes a lot. So you can check that out. All right. Now we can come later and add more. I've got a feeling that this leaf needs to be out here a little bit more because I have a bud that goes up here. So I can leave that leaf under there. I just want to show it to you without the glare. There we go. All right. So the next thing I like to do is just fill in where the sunflowers are going to go in case some of the background peeps through. And this gives you a lot better depth. Okay. If you see the gray or white or whatever color you have on your base coat showing through, it takes away from the richness of the sunflowers. Okay. And this is going to be all in here. Okay. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is right here on this, I'm going to go back to this for a few minutes to the container. Take the 3/4 inch and the medium gray. And I'm going to come all the way around and come here and go all the way around. I would love for you to join my membership. And right now, I think they had a special I saw last night. YouTube put a special for the first month is half price, is $5. So it's a great way for you to try it and see if you like it. I do 4 projects a month that for $9.99, and they're complete lessons, a full-length lesson of a big variety. If you want to learn more, then that's a perfect way for you to go try it out. Okay. All right. Now, I am going to get a toothbrush and wet this toothbrush. All the toothbrushes are made like that these days instead of flat. I think I'd like it flat. Okay, I'm going to pick up more water. I'm going to make it easy. Okay, so I can practice right here. See if I like it. And I can go on the container. I can put a guard there so it doesn't go all over. Or I can decide to put it all over. Okay, isn't that kind of fun? All right, let's make our sunflowers. We're going to use a 12 flat. Let's find out 12. Okay, we're going to use a 12 flat. I just keep finding the angle brushes. Okay. Okay. There's a good one. Good one means I haven't abused it too bad. Okay, so I have the medium scruffy, which is going to be the 1/2 inch. And I'm going to pounce. I'm going to put it down here so I can pounce. All right. And I'm going to get the burnt umber and Juneberry. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 bigger ones and a bud back there. But I'm going to start off right here so you could kind of see where I put the burnt umber in the background. And then I'm gonna, on this one, I don't usually do this. I'm turning it all the way around and having the burnt umber on the outside. Okay, so there's a couple of strokes that I want you to see that I'm going to, first of all, before I get into that totally, I'm going to grab the daffodil yellow and yellow ochre, and I'm going to then come back and put the brown on it. But I'm going to come right up here. Now watch me. This is what's going to happen. I can come here and push down. Come here and push down. And then I'm going to come here and make 2 strokes. So this is what we normally do, is we come from the bottom and we come from the bottom. And then I'm going to come in here and shade some on the base. Now that is how traditional painters do it, and then they come and do shading. But I want to show you that if you put the wet first, then you can grab here, push and stand up, push, turn slightly to get to the point. I'm grabbing the brown, See what I talked about where we're covering all our leaves? All the way around. See, I keep picking up paint. All right, more and more, because I'm going to put another one here. So I'm going to have some of these petals, grabbing the middle in here, some of these petals. I'm going to do on the chisel board. You see that? All the way around. Now I like to kind of come and do some coming up. All right. A couple little ones in here. See all the different colors? All right. So what happens is that wet paint in the center was picked up and went into there. So I can then bring some of this, some of the burnt umber up. See how that shading's in there a little bit. I could even put a little bit of Juneberry in here. All right. Also, before I go further, I'm going to grab some green and put it there in case it's too hard to get it in there later. And then I could come right here and add a little bit of green in there. Let's put some Juneberry, and there we go. I'm going to do this especially because I covered most of my green. I should have drawn it out and then I would have seen. So let's come right in here. And all that pretty leaf I made does not show now. Okay. To get my 16 or my 3/4 and put it there. All right. I still want it to be darker. So let's pick up some burnt umber and pick it with some citrus. Okay, and then I can come in here and redo this. All right, so let's come right in here and I'll fix those petals. I like doing something like this to show you how to fix it if you have a problem. Okay, so now I can come back in here and I can come right through there and add a couple petals back on it. Okay, so it kind of flows better. All right, so see that side's looking good. And I will come in here and pounce a little bit, and I'll come put a highlight after I do my second sunflower. All right, actually it's the third because it's the second big one. All right, so I'm going to come right in here, and this is going to be more side view. Okay, now let's come back in here and let's pick up these yellows and white again. Okay, so now what's going to happen is I'm going to grab that wet. How pretty that is. So it's all out here. See, I get fresh paint almost every stroke. Now see, it was good I put that extra large leaf out there because it's not large, but it was out there further. Okay, see how pretty those strokes are. See that? Thank you for being on with me this morning. It's fun to have you guys out watching. All right. Now then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a second little layer. See how I go back into the wet paint? So you can't really do this in advance. You saw me do it and then jump and do something else. You shouldn't do that, but I knew I'd be quick. All right. So there we go. Now I do want to come here and clean this up before I put the second half, just so that the brush, the scruffy brush, or the petals aren't in the way. Okay. Now this one I had brown on the outside. This one I had Juneberry. Okay, so now what's going to happen is I can have a little bit here, but mostly I'm going to come up here. Then I can come back in here. See how I can overlap that? Because this is a side view. Okay, and then I can keep coming in here and putting a few more right over this again. See, just by picking up more paint. Isn't that kind of fun? All right, so I do have a smaller scruffy. It's a 1/4 inch scruffy. So I can get this 1/4 inch scruffy and I can put a little highlight in there. So what I would do is just pick up a little bit of wet yellow ochre, and I'm going to go ahead and get a teeny bit of Juneberry so that it blends in and it's not just this bright color stuck on top. Okay, and we can put some in here. I should have done it before I did this last petal because now I've got to come back. I'm putting some more yellow in it. Okay, now I have to strike. I have to stroke that one more time. Okay. Right back on top of it. But if you do it while it's wet, it's no problem because it gives you some, color. All right. So see, doesn't that look natural? Okay. So I think that it looks kind of square over here. So remember I said put a little bit of Juneberry. Or you could put some brown umber. move the top here. I can look in the camera sometimes better and see where it needs something. All right. Okay, guys. I'm anxious to see your sunflowers. And I'd love for you to come on our Facebook group and share. All right. Check out my membership. It says join, and then if you go look at what it says under join on my page, my channel page here, then you would see everything that's offered. Okay. And then onestroke.com is where you get all of my paints and packets and anything that you want to try with me. Got great beginner kits. All right. So check those out and you sign it and we're done. Thank you very much.